So what's up, Cody? How are you doing this Saturday evening? Besides that, you're
Besides getting
high,
blunted.
high as a mother right now.
Yeah, right. No, I feel good. I feel fine.
That's
still
good. That's
doing,
good.
still doing some touch ups to the movie. So
Nice.
other than that,
So guys, Cody is a. Do we call you like a filmmaker?
What do you call yourself?
What do you call yourself?
I call myself Cody McLain, the human being. No, filmmaker's fine. That works fine.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we just want to tell you that we were honored to be asked to pre-screen your documentary and your short films.
Yes.
And so I feel like, I mean, I told you this before, when we first talked, that we were just like, we just talked so much about just what all you were doing, and you're just like really talented and stuff. So tell people about So Help Me God, the documentary that we're going to be looking forward to seeing on Amazon.
Yes, and thank you guys for taking the pre-screening, and I know you're very busy, and it's a great thing you guys took the time to watch it. But the documentary, the So Help Me God, months back, I went and lived with a group of people who are homeless for about a week, and documented everything, what they go through, everything, their stories, and basically that's what it is, and the proper way. But on the other way, it's something. It's a picture of a hooker face down in the ditch, with scars on her and 2 cents in her pocket, and behind her is one of the Rockefellers or Rothschilds, taking that last 2 cents from her, and then I'm behind them taking the picture of it. That's what it is.
Do you feel like that experience kind of humbled you a little bit?
Absolutely. I make stuff off of my fears and anxieties, and that's a fear for everybody. I mean, nobody is no better than the people who are temporarily homeless. Nobody's no better than anybody, and everybody's always that one step away from being in a situation like that. That's a real fear. I mean, especially now with you have coronavirus stuff going on and that sort of thing, and jobs being lost. So I mean, it's not out of the ballpark for anybody. I mean, it's just an unfortunate situation for some.
So close to obviously there's Mother Nature just has her way of showing people who's boss, I guess, and so
Sure.
There's a lot of people that have to have things taken away from them for them to kind of get like that sudden that shove, for them to be like, hey, you're somebody just like I am, and
right,
we could be like,
absolutely
taken, off of our high pedestals, and just like, just pushed to the ground, and not have anything. So whenever we were, whenever we watched the movie, I just feel like, right now there's so many people that have so many questions about what we can do about people and, that are homeless, whether they're veterans, whether they are, women, that are, just having sex, for money, prostitutes, whatever you call them, I mean, everybody, it's one of those things. I think that a lot of people have a lot of questions, but there's really not an answer, and I mean, if you try to help one, you feel like you need to help them all, and there's just no way, and it sucks. And so there was, Chris and I, when we watched the movie, and I've talked to you before about, like you said, you called him like a street poet, but guys, whenever you see this movie, this gentleman is just, he's just
so talented.
Yes, he is so talented. Yes, and it's just like you want to listen to what he says, you know,
Right.
and you know, like it's just it's from the heart, you know, and
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
from an experience. And
yeah.
man, Calvin, he can go all day with that stuff. I spent 7 days and nights with the man, and he would spit some crazy stuff to me, and I'd be like, man, Calvin, you're blowing my head off right now, brother. Like, you're just coming at me with all this stuff. But he's he's very talented, and he's insane. Seeing that for the first time happening in front of me was like it was like magic almost. I was like, wow, you're not even.
Yeah.
He's not even like thinking about what he's gonna say next. He's just feeling every syllable of every word, and it's like, man, it's rapping and it's poetry, but it's none of those. I don't know. It was such a unique thing. Yeah,
I think
very
it's,
much so.
You know, with you know, homelessness, it's like it's, I don't know if that's the word I was looking for, but it's just like there's no color, you know, there's no there's no like certain type of somebody that can end up you know, that way. And so, you know, close to, you know, where we live, you know, because I'm on Facebook, and I mean, people are just constantly like, you know, like they're constantly bitching, you know, like, hey, what can we do about, you know, the homeless, you know, people here and there, and you know, and you and I talked about this before. It's like, man, if you're not offering something, you know, if you're not going to offer them food, if you're not going to offer them money, a place to stay, you know, then shut the hell up. You know, I mean, what are they doing? You know,
the thing with it is the Salvation Army fucking sucks. It's an awful place that has restrictions on, you know, because in the documentary, and it rings so true. And this is one of the best documentaries ever made. You have to see this movie. If you're listening, the audience you have has to see this movie. You're not going to see anything like it. It is the most powerful thing out. It is all of these things in one. It's an hour long. It feels like 30 minutes. But with the Salvation... Sorry, I'm going all over the place.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So the Salvation Army has these restrictions in place, like, okay, you have to have a job to be here or be looking for work while you're here. You can't, we drug test you and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, but some of these people have decade-long drug addictions that you just can't fix overnight. You have to allow them to have something. They can't just go in there. They're going to lose their minds because they've been doing this for so long. They're not going to function. You got to give them a place to shower so they can get a job. One guy, Justin in the documentary says, well, yeah, I would like to work. Wouldn't everybody like to work? But who's going to hire me when I smell like shit and I have dirt under my fingernails and I've been sleeping on the ground for months? And it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I mean, and all of these people want to work. It's not like they don't want to work, but it's like, who's going to hire them and who's going to give them a chance? And that's why, like, it's not my movie. I mean, yeah, I'm just the guy who had the camera and was there, but it's really their movie. It's their stories. It's them, and I'm just with them.
So whenever you hear, and I'll just tell you, you know, there's a story, but there's a gentleman, you know, that is kind of like not in the neighborhood, but in the city, and everybody knows his name, you know, and everybody sees him, and so he's like one of the main topics of like the, you know, the conversation, just because a lot of people feel like, man, we're giving him gift cards, and this is just one person, you know. We know there's tons, there's thousands, you know, of people out there, but it's like, you know, it's kind of like he is the city homeless guy, you know, and you know, people will go and post on Facebook like, hey, you know, has anyone seen so and so, and like, oh, I saw him, I took him a hot meal, or oh, I gave him a gift card too. And so a lot of these people, you know, like they're calling these other people like enablers, because they're like, surely he's tried to seek some type of help, but then a lot of people, like the panhandlers, they're like, you know what, if you guys keep giving them money, then how are they going to like know, to stop, asking for help and go and seek it themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's I think it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, just because if you help one, like we say, you feel like you have to help them all. There's no way. I mean, if you took one in, it's kind of like, I feel like even with like children, adopting children, you want to help one, but it's just like, man, how do you choose, who you're helping, and
Sure.
There was a gentleman on the news that he was talking about how Chris, I don't know if I had told you this, but he was ordering sleeping bags. And, he said, he started out with just, a few. And so, like, they showed him on the news, like, the post office and, like, Amazon, like, he was getting boxes and boxes. And he had, like, over 1,700 sleeping bags. And he was going around Dallas, like, with a truck and giving them, to the homeless people. And this was his mission, he said. But at the same time, he was like, man, like, he's going to have to go again, like, this next year and give them new ones just because... they're sleeping on dirty grounds. They're sleeping when they're wet, when it's cold, when it's raining, and stuff like that too. So it's just like, man, when and how does it end?
Yeah. Well, that makes you wonder. What would be, how bad would a public housing situation be? Like, what, like, you can implement that pretty. I don't want to say easily because I'm not I don't even know who would do that, but I'm not that. But it would seem like, if you just, I'm sure most people would be on board for a little bit of a tax increase to provide adequate living without any restrictions. Of course, you can't be violent and you can't be doing all that. But I mean, if people need their medicine or whatever drug they're taking, I mean, they shouldn't be deprived of that, because if they're not going to get it where they can kind of wean themselves off, don't let them go crazy, but wean themselves off and wanting to get better and have a place to shower, and they have some sort of transportation element set up where they can be taken to jobs or applying for jobs. Well, you can either give them that, or they're just going to go out on the street and do it anyway.
Yeah.
And keep, I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, but in the movie, it really highlights almost like the desperation. And being out there, I felt the desperation. I mean, I mean, it's, and I, you really see their soul in it. And that's an amazing thing to capture, not as a filmmaker, but just as a human being. Like, if I had no camera and was just, I just happened to be whatever, a filmmaker of sorts, and
just to give them a place, just to tell their story, like you said, because it's not like any documentary you've ever seen before, and I'm sure you and Chris can attest to that. It's not your it's not your Pepsi Cola, Dr. Pepper Hollywood documentary. It is not that at all. It is so far from that, which makes it better for it. I mean it is a prime choice cut fillet of a documentary. It is just absolutely one. And people who watch this movie, they'll be awakened to their own intelligence, to their own emotions. I mean, they will really feel what is in that documentary. And it's not God and it's not the devil in it. It is something pure and true, and you're seeing it right before your eyes and seeing what it really is. And damn it, I think that's great. I could watch that fucking documentary 1,000 times and it gets better every time, and I know people will feel the same. And if they don't feel the same, whatever, not your cup of tea, but you can't tell me you've seen anything like it before, because you haven't, because I know you haven't. Anybody who watches it, I know they've never seen anything like it, and if they have, point me to it so I can watch it too. I feel like everybody, we've all been somewhere where we see somebody and maybe they're not to the to that exact point where they are homeless and living in the street. I mean, but COVID is brought a lot of people to their knees, because they need help, and I mean, who knows, and I think that's why we kind of just like Chris and I as parents, just as people, just as a couple, we try to just remember that, like everything that you have can get taken away, like in a split second, no matter, and so it really sucks. So whenever this movie comes out on Amazon, is it going to be something that you have to rent? Because I mean, we've watched movies before where they just kind of come up, and then some of them you do have to rent. So how does Amazon go about like what they charge, or
Yeah, we're still working out the price, but it's going to be very reasonable.
Okay.
It's not going to break your wallet to rent the movie. We feel, we as in the producer of the movie, Logan Broughton, and my wife who edits all my stuff, Angel Renee, who is just such a brilliant editor, and Logan funded the project for me, and we're talking about it now, and it's going to be a reasonable price. We feel like it's going to be the price of the work that it deserves to be, but it's not going to be unreasonable. And because I want people to see this movie, because they have to see this movie. It's I tell you, man, I know I say it 1,000 times, but it's one of the best documentaries ever made.
Okay.
For the simple fact that it's real and true, and you're right there in the moment.
Yes, I guys, we've
I'm kind of going on a
we've watched it, and Chris just didn't get to see the end, and even the guy too at the end, was it Colton Higgins? Is that his name? The guy that wrote the Winter song at the end? Yes, I love
brilliant
musician. Yeah, Chris didn't get to hear the end of it too, but I mean, I can't wait, so that way we can kind of show people on when it comes out. So
he's a friend of mine. I love that dude, and that's another thing you're hearing. I mean, you're seeing real stories. You're seeing the best directing, the best editing, the best producing, the best music.
Maybe we need to have
the truest music to the piece.
Yeah.
And his music is just, when I heard that song for the first time, I was like, please, I have to use this in the movie, because there's no, it fits like a puzzle piece. It's such a brilliant song.
Well, Chris, you didn't get to hear the song, but maybe
I'll visit check it out
maybe
now.
Cody, you can hook us up, and maybe we can get with Colton, so that way we can kind of
absolutely.
Yes,
I'm sure he would love that.
Yeah, so
I'm sure he would love that.
I think we need to smoke together for sure.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, sorry.
yeah, have a drink. So
absolutely.
So we watched Chris was able to he did not watch Kaleidoscope. I believe Kaleidoscope was probably one of the shorter ones and the Together, but
oh no.
Yes, and so
I'm hiding my face on that one. Yeah.
So I was kind of so I did watch Head, and I did watch Kaleidoscope, and I did watch Together, and so the short films were like they were yes. So Kaleidoscope was kind of scary, and so what was your thing, like for filming that? Like it was kind of, I was wondering if like, did she, it left me in the car thinking like, oh my God, did she get killed? And then at the end, when I saw her,
you watched that in your car?
No, I'm saying, well, yeah, because I had it on my phone, because like.
That's like the worst place to watch that short is in the car.
Yeah, and I was in my garage.
Which one is this one you talking about?
So the one with the girl and the guy, like it's like I don't want to give it away, but I have to. But where the guy is sitting behind her in the car.
What was the name of the short?
It's a Kaleidoscope.
Okay, so I'm gonna smoke, then I'm gonna get in the car, and I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I don't. And you know what, Cody, too? I had just pulled into the car, into the garage, and the door was closing, and so because I just have that fear of pulling into your garage
and to watch it now.
Yeah, and yeah. So
all right, I'm gonna leave y'all. Y'all can talk for the next 20 minutes. I'm gonna go watch the movie. I'll be back.
Yeah, and so that one, without giving it away, but that was some creepy shit. Yeah. So
that one actually. So that short Kaleidoscope is shot completely backwards, and then in editing I reversed it forwards, because it gives it a it gives it a different tone in it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that I used to live in the city, and I would walk. Is my audio good?
Yeah,
you're
bro.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just like, because I'm going
It's chronic,
through
bro. It's cool.
earbuds here. Yeah, no. But so I used to live in the city, and one night I was walking to the gas station to get some cigarettes, and there's this overpass I had to go under, and I'm walking back, and there's this guy just standing there, like black trench coat, black. I swear to God, black sunglasses, black jeans, and he's just watching me. And so I pass him a little bit, and then he like kind of does like a little pivot and starts barking at me. And so I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And I go back, and I was just like, "Yeah, someone about something being followed and that sort of thing."
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So, our daughter is here with us. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, Together was pretty cool. I found that one kind of creepy as just a tad bit, but
they're so
yeah.
All three of those shorts are so
Yes. So
something.
Yes. So yeah. I mean, like, I don't want to give it away, but at the same time too, it's like you know, it's just something you definitely have like an eye of just, you know, and a way of getting the it's like you're getting a point across without giving the point away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, that makes
yeah.
perfect sense.
So yeah,
Yes,
I mean, it's just crazy. So we cannot wait to actually have you in the studio, and hopefully, you know,
I can't
it's
wait
about the
either.
time. Yeah.
I told you I'm gonna wear a wedding dress when I come to the studio.
Okay. I'll get Chris.
Hey, Ricky Williams did that back in the day. I don't know how old you are, but I think there was a football player named Ricky Williams that was in a wedding dress with his coach, Mike Ditka. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We have to get a picture.
Yes.
We have to get a picture. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What about if on the short films? I mean, is there any way to? Are they out where people can see them, or they haven't been released yet?
Yeah. No. They're available through a company called the New American Cinema Group. They're going to be back on YouTube and Vimeo and all that good stuff soon. Just the contract is still valid with them.
Right.
But Kaleidoscope is actually available on Prime for free.
Okay.
So you can go and watch that on Prime. And the other two, Head and Together, should be back on for free this summer.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
we didn't want to, you know, kind of ruin your high by we wanted you to be able to kind of like, you know, us talk, and then at the same time, you know, just talk to you about your
relaxed.
movie. Yes, I know, but you know, I was thinking about you today, and the you know, your documentary, and just, you know, capturing all of that, you know, the stuff that we don't like to talk about, and I had seen something, and I saved it because I thought of you, but the saying was, God has a tendency of picking up a nobody to become a somebody in front of everybody without asking nobody, and so, yeah, you know,
if that, I don't think I'm, you know what I mean, and I don't know if I should think of myself as being something higher, but you know, I just like being like a working class filmmaker, if there ever is such a thing. I want to keep that. I don't want to ever be beyond the point of relating.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because it's,
yes.
You know, there's a, you know, philosophy, an ophi or ology, like, is the study of, you know what I mean? If there's any philosophy in filmmaking that I think it'd be the study of love, the love of how much, and the love of not so little, and hatred and happiness and angriness and all that other stuff. That's all filmmaking. I got hooked on it being an expression of a feeling or an expression of something. I didn't get hooked on it for necessarily narrative plot driven. We're going from A to B to C to D. That's very boring. So
tell people where they can. So I know you have an Instagram, but what other like social media, like do you have do you have Facebook or do you like Twitter, or
yes.
what do you have as far as social media?
On Instagram, I am at Cody McLain _, at COD. It's at CODYMCLAIN _,
okay.
And that's basically that's the private one or the public one. And
okay.
They can watch the shorts on YouTube, and they'll be So Help Me God will be available on Prime probably in a few months.
Okay, that'll be awesome. And I wanted to tell you congratulations again, but you said that it had won an award for I can't remember the film thing that you said that you won for the movie.
Head is going to be featured in the Golden State Film Festival in March.
Okay.
Which is a pretty big deal. It won an honorable mention in the Los Angeles Underground Film Festival last year. But it's going to be in competition again this year, so I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Yes. Well, Chris, did you have any questions for him before we let him go so he can go and relax?
I think he's already relaxing.
Yeah.
Too relaxed.
Hey man, it's awesome that you reached out to us and gave us an opportunity to talk to you. And
thank you for the opportunity.
Based on what I saw of the documentary and what I'm hearing about the other stuff. I mean, all the greats, started out, like this, being off the norm when it comes to making movies and stuff like that. And so it's an awesome talent to see stuff like that. Awesome gift. And
thank you,
man. We really appreciate that we had the opportunity for you to join us and tell us about what you're doing and everything like that. So
thank you.
And yes, for sure, just keep us posted so that way whenever you've got something else in the works, we can get you here to promote it, and we always say like word of mouth is just the best way to kind of to promote things, each other, stuff like that too. So we definitely support you and what you do.
Thank you.
We're here, just reach out to us, but I'm excited, and I can't wait to see what else you come up with, because I'm gonna have to show him a kaleidoscope in the car in the dark, in the garage.
Just the absolute most terrifying place to watch that specific short. Oh my god.
Yeah, but and hopefully too we'll get to meet your wife, and we'll get to kind of hang out and stuff like that too. But I thank you for everything, and
yes, thank you.
Yes. Well, you have a good night, and then just hold on, okay? But thanks, Cody.
That's awesome. Sure. Cody McLain on the Surge, DFW. Man, you never know what you're going to get. I mean, when you listen to the station, So, mad props to him and what he does, and maybe he'll make a documentary of us, Xander. What do you think? Screw keeping up with the Kardashians. It's keeping up with the DJ and his minions. All right, party people, we got about 20 minutes left in the show, so we're going to get into some disco house music and end out the night. We appreciate you guys for listening to us. Make sure you check out The Surge 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the TuneIn app. It is absolutely free. And shout outs to J-Rocks and Cody McLain for joining us tonight. We've got more people next week, so make sure you guys tune in, and let's do this. We out. Peace.
Mixing live on the ones and twos, Cool Chris in the mix, exclusively on The Surge.